welcome. Look it's a big night, you guys. Number 88, we've been hanging out for a long time. My guest tonight, the most lovely salon owner, hairdresser, social media extraordinary, Chris Galeo of Stiletto Salon, Albany, New York. Her whole story and the conversation and the is around bouncing back after the setbacks that come with the ride in record time. So before I bring her on, I want to tell you a little bit about her because I've gotten to know her and her shareholder partner, Miss Erin. We're going to see if the Wi-Fi gods are cooperating tonight to bring them in. But let me tell you about Chris to begin with, because I want to introduce her first and foremost as a hairdresser, right? She's just killing it. She's at level 4 AA. Look at the average ticket, guys. $140, haircut price $63. I mean, you do the math on that, and that's almost like 2.5 times her haircut price. So she's really into, it's almost like working smarter, not harder on steroids. Rebooking 95%, that's off the charts. She's the salon, like Erin, she's the salon referral maker, probably generating 15 or more referrals a month. But because she's so booked, a lot of those referrals are being spun off to people at other levels to help them to, getting started. RTS 21%. You got to give it up for those guys. I know the Jonathan Boyers and the Shannon Woosleys like the RTS. 16 guests a week. Because she's 3 weeks away from having her child, so I really had to twist her arm to come and chat with us tonight. I just love her. And she's doing a couple of grand a week behind the chair, so she's hitting, all the right numbers. Now, she's also, in addition to being a hairdresser behind the chair, she owns the salon. And she really started as a Summit Salon back in 2011. And I just love the growth. It's just natural. It evolves. It's a little by little over time. This year, what's really remarkable is she's trending to do 700. But what makes that really extraordinary, Shannon, you're going to love this, is that there's been a handful of people that were with the salon at the beginning of the year, and they're not there. So it's like everything, you walk through turnover and such, and we're talking about recovery on steroids, where she was able to recover whatever the losses are and show a 10 to 20% gain. That's one of the reasons why I wanted her on tonight to talk about what is she doing via social media practices, one-on-ones, the culture, the story, the inspiration to make that happen. So, I mean, if you follow her on social, she's got an Instagram personal page, she's got an Instagram business page. She works both. She's got Facebook personal, Facebook business, works both. What she's doing probably in any given week, it's like we talk about every week, 2-3 times a week she's posting on her salon page, 7 times a week on the personal page. She's got an interesting synergy there that I'll have her talk about tonight. And so what I wanted to do is I want to really, first of all, as we do all the time, bring the guest on and have them really give us a story as to a context, and then we'll get into some of her best practices. So let me turn off my PowerPoint. And there she is. Give it up for Miss Chris Galeo. Chris, it's wonderful to have you on the show.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Did you hear me bragging on you?
I did.
All right, well, get us going, will you? I mean, I know your story is extraordinary for starters. Just give us, in general, how'd you kind of find yourself in the beauty business?
I graduated high school early, and I went to art school, and I was working in a hair salon at the time, and some of the girls encouraged me that were working there to just do it, just to go to beauty school and get it over with. So I took the plunge and I did it, and graduated hair school in 1998.
And yeah, I know you pivot from, you go to art school, you're thinking maybe you want to go to interior design, but you got the hairdresser bug, you go to beauty school, you're in, so now you're in the game, and somewhere in that journey going in and out, you decide you're going to do a salon. You started Stilettos. What was it? What year was that?
That was in 2006.
So 2006, and what was it like between 2006, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your first introduction of the summit was what year?
2009.
Yeah, so there's a 3-year window there. In a nutshell, how was the salon different in 2006 to 2009 before you got to the summit, and what got you there?
Well, it was chaos. I had heard of the summit program because I came from the Redken education world, and I was a Redken artist in 2001, and just heard about the summit program. And when I opened the salon, it was kind of like a revolving door. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was a good hairdresser, and that was it, but had no idea how to run a business. And just kind of said, okay, we have to make an investment in the salon and learn how to grow it. And we took the plunge and we went to the summit in 2009. That was our first time. And then in 2011, we went again, just kind of get a little refresher.
So now you're in it. You're in the summit pool, 2011, and we were showing some of your trends. Now that you're in it, what do you know now about, as a result of going to Summit? And you and I, we started talking to each other a couple of years ago. You're in a very different place now than you were a couple of years ago. What's changed for you as a hairdresser that's doing social, a salon owner, a leader, a coach? In a nutshell, what is that?
So much has changed. A lot of it was when we went to the summit the first time and coming home from it, it was a lot of emotion and fear. Because it's a scary thing, but after going a second time, I guess you just have to learn to trust and kind of you're done.
Well, and then when you had there were some people that really just didn't embrace and they moved on. And then you and we're going to be seeing if we can bring Erin on in a few minutes, but you just started something I think extraordinary happened to you a couple of years ago. You and I were chatting and I said, hey, and I gave you someone's phone number, and this person started working with you and started coaching you and coaching Erin. Who was this person?
Gavin Salisbury.
Yeah, Gavin makes big boom boom.
Gavin is our summit coach now, and he really taught us to start to put the compassion behind our team and really try to focus on culture and building up what that meant to us.
So now it's almost like it's shifted your coaching, your leading from, now it's way beyond level charts and qualifying, and you're really mentoring your people. And I've watched you in the last couple of years, really get into the social media pool. How is social media working for you, and how has it empowered your leadership and mentoring efforts, and how are you getting your people to follow your lead, because you really are leading that particular charge?
Yeah, just by trial and error. Times have changed so much, and we really try to focus on the social media aspect of it, because gone are kind of the days where you go out and do your cold calls and hand out business cards, and it's all about social media now. And if it's done right, and you can really end up being pretty successful just by the social media.
And everybody in your culture is on the social media platform, so you've embraced it. You coach your people to it, and I really want to make sure that the listeners tonight really can hear that there's something extraordinary going on with you and your people and your culture. That this year, two things have happened for you, I think. One, you're going to enjoy a great year in growth. You're gonna crack the 700,000 barrier. But what makes that so profound is in that same year, was it 5 or 6 people that were here in January are not here now, and you've continued to recover as a result of that. I'd like you to talk about what in the world is going on in your culture and in your leadership that would empower you to do that, because that usually takes 2 to 3 years for a salon to recover. You recovered it inside of the second year and then some.
I think it's all about the guest experience and who we are as a team. We've created such an amazing experience in the salon that we've been able to recover a lot of the guests that have stayed with us and, wished well to the others that have left us.
Right. Well, what I love about the conversation is that you people that are in your level 1, level 2 now, young people, young 20-somethings, and as people have moved on, it's created a vacuum for them, and because they're very social media driven from your coaching, and they really understand that part, it's like they're going through the levels and growing at 2 to 3 times the speed that was happening a year or so ago. And I think that's what allowed you as a salon company to not only catch up and get back what you had, but even enjoy a modest gain as a result. Am I close to what's going on with you there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have some stylists in the salon that have level jumped 2-3 levels in a matter of 2 years, just based on what they do on social media.
All right, so I really want the listener to get that, Chris, is that because of social media and then all of the other summit practices, and we're going to have Erin come in and talk about the one-on-ones, because the one-on-ones really are driven by her, and she's even taken the one-on-one coaching to another level. But the social media, as you're saying, your people now are jumping 2, sometimes 3 levels in a 365-day window of time. And I think it's the combination of all of that has empowered your salon company to recover at the speed of light. I mean, it's unprecedented to have a Summit salon lose 6 people of their tribe. And by the way, how many people did you have before the 6 went away? And what did you end up with after the 6 went away?
19, and we have 13 now.
So 19, 6 go on, 13 left, and with that 13, you caught up to where you were when you had 19 and another 10 to 20% more.
Yep.
Oh my God. And that's really what I really want the audience to get their arms around tonight, because that not only are service providers growing at the speed of light, but when you've got the leadership that you have, you're able to recover at the speed of light. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, before I bring on Erin, I've got a couple other questions for you. One, what do you know now as a salon manager and owner, a leader, that you didn't know 2-3 years ago that it's making the difference for you?
So just really trust the process and listen to your gut. I think hiring slowly is extremely important to us now, and just making sure that we have the right person to fit within our culture.
And maybe I'm asking the same question again, but I really want to make sure that the listener, because you're in a place now where there's a lot of people, salon owners, that are at the place that you were at 2, 3, 4 years ago. You're at a very different place. In a nutshell, what might you offer them that would give them not only hope, but the inspiration, the empowerment to say, you know what, Chris Stilettos can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to look adversity in the face, and I'm going to walk through what she walked through because she's doing it. What would that be? What could you offer them?
I think, just like I said, you really have to just trust the process of the summit. It does work if you work it correctly, and that goes not only for myself as a business owner, but for, my team, any stylist going through the same thing. You just have to, I guess I always say your efforts always give you the results of your business. So.
Yeah, and you know what? This wasn't on the interview, but I just remembered it as I was looking at you and listening to you. you and I and Erin had this definable moment 24, 36 months ago where they were vulnerable, they were wobbly, and there was just that little sliver of doubt, and then all of a sudden you had that moment of clarity that went, no, I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to bear down. I'm going to call Gavin, but I'm not going to do what a lot of salon owners do. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to stay the course, and sometimes it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You were in a back step, and you just went, I'm not going to quit. And then you asked me, Michael, give me another coach. I'm in it to win it.
Yep.
Huge.
Well, we took a number down pat, but we were missing the culture part, like I said, and Gavin really helped us to implement that into our team, and now it's great because we have a nice balance of financial success and personal success.
Right. You're no longer a house of cards. I mean, you are really built on solid rock. Well, listen, I'm gonna cue Erin. We're gonna try to bring her in because I wanted to give her a few minutes to really give it up for Miss Erin, will you guys? Nice. Erin, you were watching, I know, because you came in. In a nutshell, you and I were chatting this afternoon, and you were telling me how much your one-on-ones have changed and how much more big boom you're getting from them now to then. So, in a nutshell, what makes them different today than they were a year or so ago?
I think the biggest difference is, a couple years ago we were, like Chris said, so numbers focused, and the one-on-ones became very stale. And when we started working with Gavin and stressing the importance of making connections with your team and building culture, I think that's when everything really just kind of shifted and the one-on-ones went in a different direction. More focused on the happiness of each team member, not just in the salon, but outside of the salon.
And you and I were chatting too that you're now using some digital tools where you're tying your stylist's personal life, their personal financial life, and tying that into what they're doing behind the chair, and it looks like it's motivating them. Talk a little bit about that component, because it's important.
Yeah, so a lot of times when the stylists come in to their one-on-ones, there's some personal issues going on, whether it's maybe they can't pay their rent or they're having trouble paying their car payment. So that's where the magic number tool has really come into play in the one-on-ones. And that's such an awesome tool because it breaks down every single expense that the person has, and you can figure out how much more per month you need to make, not just per month, per week, per day. So instead of it being just like a general number, like I have to make $300 more to pay my car insurance, but what does that really look like in terms of how many more service dollars do you have to bring in daily?
Right. I'm loving this conversation right now, Erin, because you're referring to the digital tool, the magic day, where you're really sitting down. And, when I talk to your hairdressers, they'll say, when I sit down in my one-on-ones with Erin, she's doing the money for me as she's teaching me to do it for myself. And now you're using that calculator where you're going through all of the expenses in their life. And those are the expenses that they're having a hard time paying. My car payment, my rent, my credit card payments. And you're adding all of that up so that they can go, okay, this is what it's costing me to live, and that calculator turns it into a monthly number for service and then breaks it down to the week and the day, thus the magic day goal. And you're saying, since you've pivoted your one-on-one coaching around that, that's what's making a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, when a stylist comes in and they're stressed about money, it's written all over their face. It affects their attitude, which in turn affects our culture. So we don't want to see our stylists struggle. So if they're having issues with money, we need to figure that out as soon as possible.
Nice. It's one of those, it's money, it's emotional, it's on their mind. And you're saying that since you've went from, level chart only planner only, tracking only, and brought that other part into it, it seems like it's empowering the process.
Yeah, I mean, there's many times stylists come in for their one-on-ones, and we don't even do numbers. They have more stuff going on that needs to be hashed out, and they need to talk about. And sometimes we just skip the numbers altogether.
Nice. Well, listen, I'd love to keep this conversation going. I'm going to stay in touch with both of you to have you back to pick up where we left off. And it has been an extraordinary interview. It's the first time we had two people. We brought them into Zoom.com, and it worked. And you both brought some golden nuggets to the table. So on behalf of everyone watching tonight, thank both of you for your wisdom and your courage and your conviction, and just keep up the good work. Keep on booming, right? And let's give it up for these two one more time. Chris and Erin, you guys, come on. All right, I got to go back to work, but thank you very much for helping us.
Thanks.
All right. Her story on once upon a time we're lost. And we're struggling, and what did she call it? Chaos. We go to the summit, and we're learning learning how to do this thing, and the coaching and mentoring. And Gavin comes in and is teaching us, and now here we are in real time. We're coaching and mentoring our people to really get to that next level, and as a result, they're growing more, better, faster than they would be, and we didn't want to get into the specifics about the 6 people that have left, because we wish them well. We don't need to make anyone or ones wrong before making something right. 3 of them, it was interesting, Chris didn't mention this, but I want to mention it. In stilettos, you have a year to get from level 1 and level 2, but after that, if you're not there, she loves her people too much to allow them to get stuck in a level. So it's really, we want to grow your income, and if that doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're going to give you an opportunity to get on with your life, but we're going to do the same here. The other 3 people, there were some other issues going on, and it was really, are we right for each other? And they just decided it wasn't. So she wished them well, and in spite of that, on the coaching, on the digital tools, on the mentoring, the culture, the branding, the social media, was able to get and recover everything that was, dissolved, and wind up with a 10 to 20% gain for the year. So this is something brand new that I'm seeing. The Stilettos is the 3rd salon this year that I've seen that happen. Just like this year, I'm seeing for the first time, a level 1 at, their first full year, 45, 50, 55,000. Then it jumps to, 60 to 70,000. And then, 80 to 90, hitting $100,000 a year in that 4th year or 5th year. You're seeing that on an individual end, but you're also on the salon end. Salons that are awake are able to recover from the speed of light. So, it was an extraordinary interview indeed. Give it up for these guys one more time. Now, if you're new to, MCFB Thursday Night Live, like I said, this is our 80th episode. Hang out with us on Facebook.com / Michael Cole OTT as an over the top, because we're blogging daily. We do this every week. Next week, we've got just another great story, another great guest for you. On the Instagram page, it's Instagram.com / Michael Cole BGTD, as in the dynamite. And now, if you get onto SummitSalon.com and hit their menu button, go down to Tools, hit that, and those are all of our calculators. We just got that figured out today. So again, SummitSalon.com, go to the menu, find the word Tools, touch the toolbar, and you will have access to all of our calculators. Those are the calculators that Erin was talking about tonight, that she uses to set personal financial goals and then converts those goals into daily service and retail goals. It's just amazing how that works. And then, of course, you can also, while you're on the .com, if you go to the product page and find the rainbow on the product page, that's our Summit Salon tracker. Download that, because That now is one more digital tool so that when she's sitting down on one-on-ones, stylists have their mobile device out there looking at their numbers. She has her data, she has the digital tools, and these are the coaching and mentoring conversations that are making a difference. So it was just an extraordinary show. I always like to end in gratitude. These are our sponsors. L'Oreal Professional Product Division are all of the brands that support the work, as well as Salon Centric, the distribution arm, State Beauty Supply, and RDA ProMart Professional. So loved the conversation.